Well, I think it's time to get started. I say we quit beating around the bush.
Okay.
Just go ahead and saw this thing out of here.
It's a beautiful January morning and we're breaking ground on a project at my house again. We're gonna build an office / gym with a bathroom and a little mini kitchen at my house underneath this deck that we did previously, which is waterproof. So we're gonna make a nice about 400 square foot space that's more usable than this space is right now, which basically I never come down here and use this space at all. So I'm really excited to get this extra room on our house, a bonus room finally. Let's get started.
Looks like my house with junk everywhere.
We've got this whole area cleaned out and ready to start, so I'm gonna give you guys a rundown of the plan. There are real plans and I have a permit and all that too.
Okay.
But I think it's a good time to just kind of go over the idea of the plan.
Yeah.
So basically we're standing in the bathroom right here.
Cool.
And we're gonna frame out to that post to there, and the remainder of this space will be a closet or a storage room. That way this post isn't just in the middle of the room.
Really?
It'll be inside a framed wall. And then on the sides here, we're gonna frame on the inside of these posts so that we have enough overhang on the roof that it doesn't run in the wall. And then on the front wall, we have enough overhang to frame between the posts. And that's gonna be all windows across the front.
Now you do know there's a deck above this, right? I just feel like somebody's got to point that out, right?
Yes, this deck is waterproof. And
Okay.
I'm gonna also, once everything's done mechanically, I'm gonna close cell spray foam the bottom side of this plywood that's existing.
All right.
As a secondary barrier. Closed cell foam, if you didn't know, is like waterproof like a roof.
So the deck does not leak.
Correct. It's been here for about a year. There's no
Okay.
drips.
Okay.
The only water that comes in here is water that blows in where Jono's standing,
Yeah.
like rainwater. And so we're gonna have to do some special flashing. That's it. Let's build it.
Let's go.
I did make one change to the plans after talking to the plumber, because originally I had the toilet and the tub drain against this wall.
Like this way.
Yep. And I just drew it that way, just kind of without thinking about it much.
Yeah.
He immediately looked at my plan. He's like, what about the footing on the house? It sticks out from the house probably a foot or two. And when we cut this slab out, we'd be right on top of that footing instead of in dirt. And I was
bet.
like, oh my gosh, how did I not think of that?
And given the guy that did this really heavy, thick stone wall, I bet they poured another footing even for that.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of weight right there.
Yeah. She's lit. Wow. That's fun every time. I don't know. That was a lot of bush back there, wasn't it? I can't believe how much that was.
There's still more.
Oh my gosh. I'm just gonna let him keep going at this point. Just keep
Well,
going around
I
the whole
mean,
house.
We're getting such a good,
You didn't know you were bringing a landscaper today.
I know. This is a lot of nice space here though. I'm loving it. Originally, I had thought I might just leave this nice rock surface as the interior wall, but then I had this window. So anyways, the other problem was that we needed receptacles on this wall by code. So we are gonna frame a 2x4 wall here. This window that's into a bathroom is gonna get kind of closed up, and we'll just put a blind on it in the inside. This window is a bedroom window, and it's gonna stay where it's open. That's nice. So I want this wall as close as I can get it to this wall. So I'm just gonna plumb down in some places where the stonework looks like it's sticking out. Make some marks, and then I'll probably just move the wall out a 1/2 inch, beyond that, just to be safe. So we're gonna snap some chalk lines on the floor here and then measure between them, see how square this space actually is between the posts. It may be completely wacky, I don't know, maybe completely out of square. And then we gotta decide, do we wanna try and square it up or just roll with it? I don't know if it matters. As we were chalking these lines, the string line was pulled tight against the slab, and we noticed that there was some major dips, like probably 5/8 of an inch in one spot. But I'm just gonna do a floating floor, and I'm not gonna worry about it. I think it's gonna be fine. We're gonna measure between these chalk lines and see how bad it is. 232. Check on this end. 231. Okay. I guess we'll just go with that. That's not the worst. It's not the best. At least we know. These are close to plumb. They're not totally, like there's plumb and I'm a 1/4 inch off and 4 feet. So.
I bet we could move that post.
They're through the concrete, I'll bet. We're using pressure treated plates on the bottom here and using this foam sill sealer that's going to help cover any of the gaps or irregularity in the concrete and also seal up the bottom of this board from soaking up any moisture from the slab if it were to have moisture in it. And I don't know if there's a vapor barrier under the slab or not. There might not be. So what I told the building inspector was we're going to lay a 6 mil piece of plastic on top of the slab under the floating floor just in case. Woo! Jason's here. Brought his big hammer. We're done hammering for a second though. We got to cut concrete. Sorry.
Don't worry, there's plenty more.
There's plenty more later.
Cut concrete? What do you mean?
There's gonna be plumbing right here.
Plumbing?
Ish. Yeah.
What do you put in?
Toilet,
Bathroom?
shower, sink,
Everything?
everything.
Everything?
Yep.
Wow.
Now that we have our back wall location established, we're gonna pull off 60 1/4 inch mega mark. I'm just telling these guys what to do in this video.
Am I bumping or am I
Bump
60
60 1/4, bump 60 1/4 chalk line. That's the inside of the other side of our bathroom. And then we need to cut out 18 inches from that wall surface this way of concrete so they can run the plumbing under this slab.
Jack.
We're gonna connect right there. See my sewer?
Yeah.
So it's gonna work out pretty nice.
Oh, right there. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
How deep is it?
I don't know.
Maybe I'll find out.
60 1/4.
60 1/4. So a standard tub is 60, and we found it better to leave that 1 extra 1/4 inch to get it in, or our plumber is gonna strangle us otherwise, basically. So this 18-inch space here, all the way out, we got to cut out with our concrete saw and bust it out and get rid of it so they can do the plumbing underneath and tie in over there. I think a good thing to do here, since we're going to use a hose with this big saw to keep the dust down, and go ahead and just score these lines so that we don't lose them the second we start spraying the water on there. What do you think?
I think that sounds like actually that's a really good idea.
Thank you.
And I bet people don't think about that because yeah, once you start going, then the next thing they know, the line's
Where's the
gone.
line? It's gone.
There's no line.
What is line?
I mean, I'm pretty laser straight when I cut stuff, so I could probably do it, but I don't know.
You want me to show you where the breaker is? I've had to walk like 5 times because this keeps tripping the breaker. I'll show you so you know too.
I know where it's at.
You ready for this?
Yeah, I've been born for this.
This is the fun
You've been
part.
born for it.
How thick do you think it is based on cutting through there?
8 inches.
No.
Oh yeah. Nah, 6 at least.
I don't know if you're going to be able to bust it with a sledge then.
Eric, this what you talking about?
I don't know, Jack. What do you think?
I think that should be easier.
I mean, I don't normally get hammered while I'm at work.
Give me that thing.
So there's the slab, which is probably 6 or 7 inches thick.
It's pretty thick for a patio. It's got fiber in it. You can see right there.
Yeah.
And let's take a good look here at one of the cuts right there. Not seeing a vapor barrier under here, are you?
Don't think it's there.
I don't know that you have to have one on the outside slab, but we'll have to put one on top for sure now.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd time it's shaking the earbud right out of his head.
You know you should probably stop at that point.
Holy cow. Got the generator turned off finally. I was getting rattled in my head with the jackhammer and the generator.
I'm tired just after listening to it for a short time right there. Imagine if you did that all day.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's never easy to remove even just a little bit of concrete. It's heavy and hard. And we have good tools. We have a jackhammer and a big concrete saw.
Yeah, you could feel this whole slab just shaking the whole time under your feet.
My cat's inside are probably freaking out. Climbing the curtains.
Probably.
If you're wondering how it is that this deck I'm standing on is waterproof, there is a whole video series about redoing this deck with this decking. It's much the same as a standing seam roof in the way it installs and interlocks and keeps water from going through it. So it's a really cool product. And I did that intentionally when we did it a while ago, and it's been here a year. It's been watertight, no leaks. So now we're gonna do the second phase, which is the underneath. Today's video is brought to you by AG1, and as many of you know, the holidays are stressful. Going here, having to be there, getting this, getting that, running around. But for me, the holidays this year were pretty relaxing. We went to the Florida Keys, did a little boating, a little fishing. Then we went skiing up in West Virginia, which was awesome. It was like being at the North Pole up there. It was very cold and snowing the entire time. But now that I'm back in Waynesville and back at work, I'm doing the dreaded catch-up, which has been very stressful because I missed like 2 weeks of work. Thankfully, AG1's adaptogens, vitamins, and minerals have helped support my stress and help to balance my mood and nervous system so that I feel better and I have the energy to keep pushing through and getting all of this work done. It's also been great for my gut health because of its science-driven blend of pre- and probiotics and digestive enzymes. AG1 is also packed with antioxidants and phytonutrients from whole foods to promote longevity by supporting cellular function. So even though I am getting older, maybe I don't feel as old or look as old. AG1's been a long-standing part of my daily routine. I enjoy taking it and actually mix it stronger than it recommends because I enjoy the semi-sweet taste, which is great because some days I just don't get any vegetables in my diet or any fresh fruits because I'm just always on the run. So if you're interested in trying out the benefits from AG1 that I mentioned and many more that I didn't have time to mention, you can read about those on the website if you'd like. Make sure to click the link down in our video description below the video, and if you do, you'll get 5 free travel packs along with a year's supply of vitamin D3K2 with your first purchase. That comes in a little dropper, which I take as well. I think you'll really enjoy it and I think you'll feel better. So hey, thanks AG1 for sponsoring our video. Let's get back to work. While they were doing that jackhammering, Jamie and I are trying to get this front wall laid out with the windows. And what I've realized is that I don't think I took the wall thickness out on this far side as far as my total width between for the windows to go. And we have room for one stud between these windows, which is gonna look better. I think it'll look like a wall of glass, but the nailing flanges may overlap a little bit or something weird. I don't know. That's all we have room for. And I already bought the windows and they're sitting in my truck.
Better go with it.
So, these are 2850 single hung windows, vinyl. So they're about 150 bucks each. A lot of glass for the money. Screen on the bottom, no frills, just the window.
Now, being that this is a remodel, it's a really good idea to check for level and plumb on the things that you're going to reference new stuff from. For example, this slab is not perfectly flat. If we cut all of our jacks the same length, then the header will be exactly whatever the floor is.
Out of level.
Not good. So we are going to do a thing where we actually put the header in place level and then measure from the header down to the slab and cut each jack to fit. That way it'll kind of look,
good idea.
you know, like it's straight. Now this header thing, it's not gonna have jacks under it, you know, because we can only fit one framing member between each window.
Like a stud or slash a jack.
Yeah, so I'm kind of going back and forth about how we should do it. Should we just do one header all the way from pole to pole?
I think so.
Or maybe let the end go all the way up maybe.
Yeah.
But see, it's also non-load bearing. All this is non-structural. The deck is supported by a big girder, so there's no weight on it. It's just superficial, really.
Jono and I have the header, just a double flat 2x6. Jack is done on this side, standard height 81. And we're gonna set it up here. He's gonna hold that in, and I'm just gonna get a big stick on it and let him make a mark to know how long to cut that other side, because I guarantee you it's gonna be way different. All right. Woo, almost staring straight in the sun. Okay, drop her down. Keep coming, quite a bit, Jono. Okay, let's put a mark right there. And actually, if it'll stay, you just want to toe screw it in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. So the other side was 81. This is going to be 80 and a quarter. Yep. That's it. I think Benson's really getting into this construction stuff. Like the jackhammer didn't phase him. They ate all Jono's sausages.
Benson tried to perk his bill on. He ain't got any thumbs though. What good's he gonna do?
I don't know. He's probably carrying with his mouth.
He can't even hold a hammer.
So our drain line is way down there. Oh my gosh. I thought it would be like 6 or 8 inches from the surface to the top of that thing.
Yeah. So does he need more back this way?
I think that's good. He's got to do maybe a little more that way, but there's
That's
a stump.
not good.
There's a stump right there. Yeah.
I can try to hollow it back.
Hollow
back, girl.
I think that's fine. He doesn't need to be all that deep here. Just got to get down to that pipe at the bottom. We also lucked out, and there's plumbing right above that window where the siding is, just on the other side of the wall in a drop ceiling. So you can punch out with hot and cold. Unfortunately, it's a 1/2-inch line. Codes, we may have to run a 1/2-inch line back to wherever it's 3/4, which is like halfway through the house, but it's all drop ceiling. If you're gonna do remodeling, adding a bathroom's the most work. We already figured that much out. We've got our dividers in. Now we're gonna do our bottom sill plate and the cripples. To determine where that goes, we need our window rough opening, which is 5 feet high down from the header, which is there, 60 inches. And then we're gonna have a single sill plate below that, 1.5 inches. So the sill is gonna go right there. And just measure up and that'll give us our cripples. Jono, I'd say 19 3/8 times
Well, I would just
3.
do one.
Oh, you're right.
Do one. Do that one.
You're right. They're all gonna be different, Jono. 19 3/8 for this one.
Yeah, and then put the flat
Well-
piece in and measure the one in the middle.
Yeah, I think this one could be 19 3/8 too.
I would say, yeah.
So 19 3/8 times 2. That's why I brought Jamie out here today. He's good at remodeling. And I've really only mostly built new houses. I guess I could have just measured that, 61.5, but all right, see how much different it is. Yeah, so this one's 19 1/8. So it turns out it was a great idea to do this header first and get it level and then measure down for everything else, because the cripples vary by about 3/4 of an inch from one end to the other. That one is 19.5, 18 3/4 at the other end.
That's barely noticeable.
Just walking around on it seems fine, but when you get levels and tape measures and stuff like that on it, that's when you notice. Straight lines.
Baseboard.
Baseboard, ooh. We might have to do like rubber baseboards.
Wow.
Here's a look at our final excavation for this sewer pipe. And we're all the way around by about 6 inches. Unfortunately, it's gonna rain like 2 inches tomorrow, so I'm thinking we should try to cover this with a sheet of plywood or something, so it doesn't fill up like a pond. Welcome home. It's total chaos here. It's construction, animals, kids everywhere, fire. We were trying to burn this bush we just cut down. There was so much smoke we couldn't even see. We stopped because I thought that Tommy's probably gonna call the fire department.
Did you set up the table and chairs so we can have a date night?
Yep.
Overlooking.
Yeah, it's
cow
nice,
pasture?
isn't it? You like that? Look at there. That's pretty epical.
It's very romantic there. Near the barbed wire fence.
Maybe some cows will come up while we're sitting there.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Right here, we're gonna have a little transom, 4 foot by 1 foot window above like a couch or futon that's there, let light in. And we leveled the header across here. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this deck slopes a lot and it's wigging us out. Yeah. We're all staring at this thing
crazy.
like, what's out of level? And the deck is out of level. Bad. On purpose.
I even have Ray have double check.
They double checked
I
me.
put a level on it.
Was it level though when you did
Perfect.
it? Okay. One major problem you may be seeing with this design of having the wall come down not at the outside edge of the concrete is how are we going to keep water from landing here and running under the wall? And the answer is we're going to cut in with a diamond grinder flush with the sheathing layer and then put a piece of flashing in, Lexel it. But what we don't know yet, and we're going to check, is the slab sloping towards the wall or not? And if it is, what do you do about it? We could use a cup grinder, like grind the whole thing down. But
That's what I was thinking.
That was the worst idea ever.
All right, let's see how many weeks of grinding you're in for here. Let's see. That would be. It is going downhill.
Okay.
Oh wait, it's
by like the ever so slightest amount.
1/8. You got 1/8 slope. Let's go to the middle. We gotta check it.
I wouldn't check anywhere else.
No, wait. Are you happy with that? All right. Let's see right there. That is negative about an 8.
Okay, so flat, we'll call it.
Okay. All right. Well, I like the way you're doing that.
Yeah.
All right.
Again, this is my house, not someone else's.
All right. That's totally flat. Okay.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna go over here. I think we got a pretty good chance of it being okay here. Okay. I'm gonna call that flat. Okay. Maybe you're not losing, but you're also not winning.
Right.
Okay.
I'm just even.
All right.
Flat?
That's pretty darn flat.
Even Steven.
Dude.
Loving it.
Yeah. I'm loving to see that it's not running towards it. That's running away there.
And slightly away.
Yeah, I can see that from here.
So I say you only probably have to start on the outside by taking about probably 1 inch off down to 0 back at the framing. What do you think?
Nope. So Jamie has smoked this SDS bit to like gone, like melted. What happened?
Your concrete's really hard.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. So
Wow.
I know you pounded some cut nails in, but I was going to go ahead and add a bunch of tap cons.
Yeah.
And I still want to, especially around the doorway, because you're going to cut the opening out.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? And we don't want to break the material that's left underneath the plate there. So I'm going to have to get a new one of those, or maybe you should.
Yeah, that's not gonna drill any more holes.
It's done. It's done for the day. He's waiting on us.
Oh, cut it, cut.
Oh, go ahead.
Cut.
20.
I wish I could use this for something else. This is such a nice like piece of metal here.
Yeah. I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I'll take it home.
That was a pretty good day, but right at the end, I picked up this scrap that had this little dagger sticking off of
Really?
it. Like someone had cut some shims
No way.
off of a little scrap
would
and
do
then
that?
left the board laying there.
Who would do something like that? It was me.
And it cut me.
Oh man,
I
I'm
just
sorry.
picked it up and it stabbed
Dog
me.
lick it.
What?
Oh,
Dog lick it.
No thanks.
Let
Crazy,
Benson had enough meat today.
Yeah.
Their mouths cleaner
Ooh.
than a toilet or
Oh.
something.
Yeah. They got cleaner mouths than we do.
Actually, they don't.
All right then.
Oh.
Yeah.